And welcome everyone. I'm Hamza Arshad, your host for today's session. And let me just say, this session has been a long time coming. We have received so many messages and requests asking for this session, and I'm thrilled that we finally made it happen. So today's session is all about turning dreams into reality, especially for those of you who are aspiring to teach in the UAE. So let's be real, the UAE has become a global hotspot for educators from world-class institutions like to life-changing opportunities. It's no wonder why so many of our talented teachers want to kickstart their careers there. So guess what? The PG-Cert in education from ICE Pakistan is your gateway to that dream. But don't just take my words for that. We have two amazing guests joining us today. Dr. Yusra Asim, our proud alumna of the PG Cert class of 2024, and Mr. Shahriar Ahmed, Manager Academics. So, in this whole session, we will be exploring how this program has helped educators like Dr. Yusra land on their dream teaching jobs in the UAE and how you can also land on your dream teaching career in the UAE with PG Cert in education and how ICE is playing a key role in empowering and shaping future educators across the globe. Let's kick things off with Mr. Shahriar. Shahriar, tell us what exactly is the PG Cert, what's this hype is all about, and how does it work, and why should aspiring educators like we are having today in our audience should consider it. Over to you, Shahriar.
Well, first off, thank you for organizing this, Mr. Hamza. I think this is a very important uh, sort of information that many teachers in nowadays require. If they're not aware of it, then I guess this is a great way to give them that awareness. So, a program as such as the PG Cert in education is essentially important for teachers to identify how is it that they're going to go about teaching. Now, say a person has a master's in a certain field, right? Any certain discipline or subject. It is not necessary that the individual who has that master's degree is a good teacher. He may be or she may be great at the discipline that they're studying, and they might be brilliant students themselves. But how is it that they're going to go about delivering that information to the audience? Now, the audience could come in many shape or forms. Could be, younger audience, elder audience. There are different ways to approaching different mindsets and different ages. So, a program like this it dives into how is it that you're going to improve your delivery of knowledge, so that the audience really grasps onto that knowledge and understands it, and that they can actually implement it for the growth of their career. I believe you might be muted, Mr. Ramza. All right. All right. So here we go. We're going to have a quick discussion, presentation onto the exact points that I've mentioned earlier, and the qualification that is provided uh, by Learning Resource Network. That's the awarding body. We're going to be discussing that as well. So it is, nevertheless, it's important that we dive into this qualification now. The It's a level 7 qualification. If you're not already aware about the different levels of education, then according to British qualifications, there is level 3, which is you can consider that as the grade 11 or 12, sometimes known as college. And then we have the bachelor's, which is level 3, rather 4, 5, and 6. These are 3 years of bachelor's in British qualifications. And then we have level 7 and above, which is a postgrad, right? So there are awards, certificates, and diplomas depending on the length of the program and the content that is being delivered. You can have an award, say for example, in 4 months to 6 months max. You have a certification of 60 credit hours, which can go up to 9 months to a year. And then we have diplomas, which are 120 credits, which goes from about a year to 2 years long. Now, this is a qualification which is a certificate, which means it has 60 credit hours. Now, it is designed for teachers who have a sufficient teaching experience, because obviously it's going to be talking about theories that a teacher should be aware of, and that they have to demonstrate their whatever that they learn from that qualification uh, into the classroom environment. How is it that they're going to implement those in the classing and in the teaching environment? So it's important that they are in current practice. The again primary objective of this qualification is that the teachers get an understanding of how is it that they're going to go about learning these theories, and how is it that they're going to be implementing these theories in their classroom environment. Now, who is it for? Well, it could be for teacher trainers, mentors, head principals, coordinators, uh, university lecturers, anyone who is somewhat relevant to the education sector. This qualification is a very good step ahead for them. Now, the awarding body that we have is the Learning Resource Network. If you are not aware about what awarding body means, it what means is that it has degree awarding powers. So we got universities, for example, that have degree awarding powers, and then we have awarding bodies that have degree awarding powers, such as Pearson is one of them, Edexcel, Learning Resource Network, as such. So these are awarding bodies. Now, the qualification belongs to Learning Resource Network, and we just teach that program and deliver these assignments back to the awarding body for more durations. The entry requirements for this qualification is, of course, you need to have a minimum of bachelor's completed, a level 6, that means, because this is a postgrad and you will require the level 6 qualification, a completed bachelor's. You need to demonstrate English proficiency, so could be any tests. There are language cert, IELTS, TOEFL, many ways you can demonstrate your English proficiency. And then we have that you need to be in current practice. And that's very important. You need to demonstrate whatever you learn in, basically it's a portfolio that you build, and you demonstrate that portfolio aside from the assignment that you submit to the awarding body. So you need to be in current practice. There are 3 units in this program. As I mentioned earlier, it's 60 credit hours, so each unit is 20 credits. Unit 1 is a fairly theoretical sort of a unit, and it dives into the history of education. How is it that we reached where we are in terms of different theories that have been implemented and passed, different philosophies that have been implemented. And so it's a theoretical unit, so to speak. Then we have Unit 2. Unit 2 and Unit 3 are 2 modules which are practical in their sense. So this is where you're going to be demonstrating whatever you're implementing in the classroom environment and different theories. Now, keep in mind, there's so many theories out there. It's not that a student needs to explain each theory, in that assignment, but rather pick out a few and focus on them, and demonstrate in your evidence, we call it, or portfolio, where you're going to be highlighting with your lesson plans, scheme of work, crib sheets, anything and everything that you utilize within your classroom environment to teach your students can be demonstrated in that appendices. So Unit 2 and Unit 3, they're again practical aspects to it attached, and you're going to be demonstrating those whatever you've learned in the classroom environment in a separate file from the assignment that you submit. So it is an assessment-based qualification, which means there aren't any, so to speak, typical exams. There aren't any examinations for it. There are three assignments that you submit, one for each unit. They're fairly short. I wouldn't call them lengthy by any means. First assignment for Unit 1 is 3,000 words. Unit 2 and Unit 3 is 2,500 words. So it's a fairly concise assignment, which, again, there's so much to discover in this realm that students sometimes ask for, having more words to demonstrate their whatever they learned. But they need to focus on few theories rather than exploring everything that's out there, but rather focus on few theories and demonstrating that. The assignments, once made, need to be delivered to the institute, and we check those assignments, we screen those assignments. If feedbacks are required, we provide those feedbacks. Of course, there is a criteria that has been set by the awarding body. They provide the assignment learning outcomes, the assignment briefings, which a student must follow. And if they are in line with those learning outcomes, then the assignment is cleared from the institution, and then it's given ahead to the awarding body for external moderation. If you're not aware of what moderation is, then that's a window within which the awarding body collects all the assignments that the institute has to give. It could be for different qualifications, but particularly for PG-Cert in education, we collect those assignments, we screen those assignments, and then we submit them to the awarding body for moderation. The awarding body provides 4 moderations in a given year. So that would be every 3 months: March, June, September, and December. And between these timeframes is when a single unit is taught. So say the upcoming moderation in June, the students are going to be submitting one of the units. And keep in mind, this is a carousel model. So what that means is that the Unit 2 and Unit 3 are not prerequisites of one another. So Unit 1 is not a prerequisite for Unit 2. Unit 2 is not a prerequisite for Unit 3. You can jump into any cycle that is being provided. So essentially, there are 4 admission dates throughout the year, every 3 months, when the student can jump into the program. So if they start with Unit 2, they start Unit 3, and they conclude back with Unit 1. So it goes back into a cycle. So it's a carousel model that we're utilizing. And total the time frame is of 9 months of the qualification. So the LMS Moodle system is what we're using to teach on our online platform as well, where the assignments are checked, where the students can submit their work, where they can access the content. Obviously, since it's an online session, each session is recorded, and we have like individuals who are working individuals. So they, of course, require some flexibility where they can just watch a recording later on. And so we record those sessions, we upload them onto our portal where they can access that. They can access the content as well. The assignments are then submitted on Turnitin. We have a Turnitin platform that is infused with LMS Moodle. So once you're logged into LMS Moodle, you get the access to Turnitin. You can upload your assignments. The plagiarism is checked on that platform. The AI is checked on that platform. Also, the feedback is provided to the learner on that platform or within Turnitin. So AI is a thing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So it is something that you might want to really avoid. You can utilize it perhaps to getting, it's like, back in the days when we got a calculator and everyone thought that there goes mathematics. But I guess it instead helped everyone, made things faster. So it can be utilized if you work smart around it and basically to learn from it. The qualification that we have is a recognized qualification from off-call. Now, off-call is the education institution, higher education institution within UK that regulates universities and awarding bodies. The higher education is, so LRN is accredited by off-call, and so is this qualification. It is also an equivalence of through ENIC that you can get an equivalent as a postgraduate qualification for PG-Cert, and perhaps in future use that as a stepping stone for your diploma, as you get 60 credits out of it. Of course, you need to first verify from wherever university or institution that you will apply ahead, if that is that they accept those credit hours. They will request for assignment briefings and request for uh, the content that has been taught, of course, to validate those 60 credits. But you can get an equivalency through the UK ENIC platform. Um, and Last but not least, yes, it is a department for education, valid. So all education platforms throughout UK do accept this qualification. I believe that'll be it from my end, from the academics point of view. So I hope that gave you some insight and this qualification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shahryar. That was like really super insightful, Shahryar. Hopefully, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, yes, you
Okay,
are.
so now let's move on to a story that I personally find incredibly inspiring, the journey of our proud alumna, Dr. Yusra Asim. So I will give a little bit introduction about Dr. Yusra. So Dr. Yusra is our proud PG Cert graduate, and she's a trailblazer in the field of education with a PhD in computer science and years of experience in academia. And she has a deep passion for tech integration in the classroom. She's held leadership roles, including vice principal, head of department, and school principal. And she has published research in top journals, and she has made waves in the fields of data science and machine learning. And she continues to set the bar really high in education and leadership. Honestly, if I kept listing her achievements, we would need another full session. So let's hear directly from her. Over to you, Dr. Yusra.
Are my slides visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Hello. How are you all? My name is Dr. Yusra. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. First of all, I would like to thank ICE Pakistan for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I feel truly honored to be here today and to speak with so many dedicated educators. Let me introduce myself a little bit. I completed my PhD in computer science from ComScience University, Islamabad, Pakistan. Prior to that, I earned MScs degree from Connect College, Lahore, and bachelor's in software engineering from Fatma Jinnah Women University, Rawalpindi. I hold a UAE teaching lessons from UAE Ministry of Education that was awarded to me after successfully passing both pedagogy and Python specialization tests. Additionally, I earned my LRN Level 7 postgraduate certificate in education from ICE Pakistan. Moreover, recently I have completed my bachelor's in education from Virtual University. Hamza has introduced me so well. So I just like to tell you that currently I am working as vocational trainer at Future Training and Services Center, Abu Dhabi. So when we talk about the teaching environment in the UAE, there are different types of schools, public, private, ministry affiliated, and they are offering different curriculums like British, American, Pakistani, Indian, Ministry of Education, IB, and all that. And there are different levels being taught and managed in these schools like primary, primary, secondary, higher education, vocational. When we talk about the UAE work environment, you must keep in mind that it is multicultural because here people come from diverse cultural backgrounds. They work and interact together by respecting and valuing their differences. It is highly competitive, where teachers have to be focused on their continuous professional development and they have to follow different policies related to moral education, national identity, and Emirati values. Before working here in UAE, there are different types of attestations you have to go through. Teachers must have their academic and professional document attested. Minimum requirement is bachelor's degree and transcript. And if you are master's and PhD, then you must attest those degrees and transcripts as well. Your teaching certification, that is PG-Cert in education, also needs to be attested. Your experience letters from the previous institutes or schools, that needs to be attested as well. So from where you have to attest them? In your home country, your degrees and transcripts must be attested by, first of all, Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, then Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then from UAE Embassy, that is also known as SASHA. And what about your experience letter? In your experience letter, it must be attested by the Director of Education, then MOFA, and then SASHA. And one thing more, when we talk about the degree and transcripts that are related to here in UAE, then when you come here, you have to get your documents attested from Pakistani Embassy, that is in UAE, Abu Dhabi, and from the Ministry of Education. So all attestations are done. Now, what about the equivalency certificate? It is required for non-local degrees to be officially recognized in the UAE. So once you get your Emirate ID here, you can apply for your equivalency certificate of your degree. And I have provided you a portal from where you can check the requirements for that as well. And a very important question, that how LRN level 7 PG cert will be recognized in the UAE. So to obtain UAE MOE equivalency for the PG cert, you have to get it attested from UK authorities, UAE MOFA, and UAE MOE. It is already recognized like LRN body, that is very powerful institute that can you award the degree. And if you are worried about that how I will get my certificate attested from these all channels, then there is a service named as index services. It assist you with the full verification and attestation process in the UAE. It will cost up to 1200 AED approximately. Okay, now you have done your documents attested, you have done with the degree equivalency as well as the recognition of your PG cert. Now you can apply in different schools here in UAE. So when you get selected by some school and you start your teaching career here, you have to appear in the exam that is related to teaching lessons of UAE. What is TLS? That is Teaching Licensing System. It is mandatory for teaching in the UAE and it was introduced by MOE and KHDA, that is the Ministry of Education UAE. What you need for this TLS, you must have your attested qualifications, your equivalency certificate, your minimum teaching experience, police clearance certificate, and sometimes it is mandatory that if you are opting to serve in the international school, then you may need the IELTS as well. And you have to pass two tests for this purpose. Two professional licensing assessments are there. One is for your teaching techniques, and second one is related to your subject. Here I have provided official website from where you can check every guidance and every requirement related to TLS. Let's talk about the exams. First exam is related to your teaching techniques, your general education knowledge. For all teachers, it is mandatory, regardless of the subject or the grade level, whatever they are teaching. It will cover educational psychology, teaching methods, assessment strategies, classroom management. It is all about whatever you are learning in PG-Cert. It was very helpful for me to attempt this test because all the techniques that we have been using and guided by our instructors at ICE Pakistan were very helpful for attempting this test successfully. The format of this text was the multiple choice questions. Some are scenario based questions, and these scenario based questions are based on the UAE national values, identity, and inclusion. And all the policies regarding these things can be seen in the TLS website. Medium of instruction for this test is English or Arabic. It depends upon your curriculum. For me, it was English. And the second test you have to appear in is the specialized exam that is aligned with what the teacher is teaching actually. In my case, it was of computer science. It was a multiple choice question, some were MCQ, some were short questions. And its medium of instruction can be English or Arabic, it depends upon your curriculum. So, as I talk about this computer science specialization test, it was all about flowcharts, pseudocodes, functional working codes of Python, for which I have to trace the outputs and trace the errors. So, it was very important that you have to go through all of the syllabus related to your computer science, especially Python. There are different types of educational professional licenses here in UAE. If you are a teacher, either you are subject teacher, vocational teacher, language teacher, there is a teaching license you have to obtain. If you are a principal, vice principal, lead principal, cluster head, you are in leadership, then you have to obtain school leadership license. And if you belong to the category that is the third category, librarian, lab instructor, guidance counselor, like that, then you have to obtain school professions license. When you come here in UAE, there are challenges that you have to face as a new teacher. For example, there are school inspections by different knowledge bodies. If I talk about Abu Dhabi, there is the knowledge body that is ADIC. So, Abu Dhabi Education Knowledge Body, they keep on inspecting different schools and give the rating of the schools. You have to adapt your lessons according to the multicultural environment in your class as your students belong to different cultures. You have to manage your time. You can learn different teaching tools here. You have to use teaching tools, especially AI, as you know it is a lot of getting focus here. And you have to take care of cultural sensitivity. Sometimes dress code is mandatory in some schools, and whenever you sign the employment contracts, you have to go through all the clauses. It is very, you must be very careful about signing the contracts, and the work visa processes are also a challenge here. Anyway, the most important thing in my eye is effective lesson planning. Honestly, whatever I was taught in the PG cert, it helped me a lot. Here, whenever you go for your teaching interviews and all that, they say you to give a demo lesson there. If you are effectively planning your lessons and you are delivering that lessons according to that lesson plan, then you definitely get a job. For example, if I talk about the basic components of effective lesson planning are, you start with some brainstorming question, and then you define the learning objectives of your lesson, and then you define the discuss different success criterias according to that learning objectives of that lesson. Then you discuss the topic as a facilitator, and you design different differentiated assessment for learning activities for your slow learners, average learners, and high achievers. Also, you design some group tasks that are based on usually research activity. A very important aspect of your lesson planning is that you have to incorporate NIM UAE. What is NIM UAE? It is National Identity Mark UAE, where you are like connecting your lesson with the real life scenarios of the UAE. So this is most important whenever you give a demo in any school. If you are done with this part, you definitely get a job. And your PG-Cert lesson planning was too helpful for me in getting a good job here. Here are some job portals that are really working for the teachers according to my personal experience in the UAE. These are Teachaway, TESS, GEMS Education Careers, Talim Careers, Aldar Education Careers, Naukri Gulf, Indeed. Here I have provided some of the educational regulatory bodies for you. The main body is UAE, that is Ministry of Education. Its scope of authority is the public schools, the curriculum being taught there, your degree equivalencies, your TLS licensing, national policies, all is under MOE. And if you go for teaching in Abu Dhabi or Al Ain, then your regulatory body is ADEC, that is Abu Dhabi Department of Education and Knowledge. I have provided with the websites of every regulatory body with respect to each state of the UAE. And in Dubai, it is KHDA. In Sharjah, it is PIA and all that. So you can go for the websites I have provided here. You can look at different jobs in different schools there, and maybe you get a government job there. It's your luck. So, other than me, there are a number of success stories from LRN Level 7 PG-Cert program from ICE Pakistan. As you can see here on this slide, these educators have successfully completed their journey through ICE Pakistan and have made great progress in their career. In this session, whatever I have discussed with you, it is not only the information, it is actually my personal experience I have been going through. As I look back in my journey as a teacher in UAE, I feel truly grateful. Working in a multicultural environment has helped me grow both professionally as well as personally. I am especially thankful to ICE Pakistan for offering the LRN Level 7 PG Cert in education, which not only enhanced my teaching practices but also helped me to secure a good job here in UAE. So it's been a meaningful and rewarding experience, and I am proud of being the part of that journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yusra. This was really insightful and it was very detailed. So I have a question. I think most of our audience is also interested in that as well. So like if somebody like is aspiring to become a teacher and start their career in UAE. So if we break down this whole like session, so what like steps aspiring teacher should take to get a like to dream on a land job in the UAE with PG cert. Like first PG they should do PG cert, and like after that what step they should take.
After PG Cert, they must attest their degrees and their PG Cert certificate from the index. And once they have attested all these documents, they can go for a job. But whenever the schools will call them for interview, for demo, they need proper lesson planning. So all of the learners that are available here must go through whatever the instructors are going to teach them in all three modules. It is a very detailed template for the lesson planning I've been gone through when I was studying at ICE Pakistan. It can help them a lot, and they must have knowledge about the NIM UAE and that how their topic can be connected to the real life scenarios of UAE. If you have performed good in the demo, you are engaging your class, then you can get the job done.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yusra. Okay, I think there is something wrong with my screen. Is my screen like visible, Shariar?
Yes, I believe it's visible. The streaming platform is visible.
Okay, so my streaming platform is visible. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. So now our floor is open. If somebody has any question, So we are here to address your queries. You can just comment down in the comment section and we will be happy to address your queries. So there is a question from Hassan Khadir. Can a candidate get a job while completing PG Cert?
After completing PG teaching qualification to get a teaching job here. So PG Cert can help you a lot. After completing this,
Okay.
you can apply for a job, and meanwhile you can get that document attested as well. No problem.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, any more question? We are still open. So there are no question here so far. I think our session. So Mariam Akhtar has a question. Yes, Mariam, please.
Yes, you have to complete it first.
Yes, so Sidra has a question. What about other countries like China, Korea, Saudi Arabia? PG Cert is highly valuable in these countries as well.
Yes, in Middle East, PG Cert is highly valuable. It is also working in Australia and Canada. So far, I know about it. And PG. And what about the I don't know about the Korea. But whenever you want to teach somewhere, you must need a teaching certification with you. Otherwise, you can't get a job of teaching anywhere.
As well as any other place that accepts British qualifications, is likely a place that will accept your certification.
You know, it is working in schools and vocational training institutes as well as in universities as well. So it is a very good, certification. You must go through it. Okay.
I'll take on this one. I believe Aisha is asking how long does it take to complete the certification? Well, if everything goes smooth and that you won't have to reattempt your assignments, then it's a 9-month program, 3 months for each unit. I believe the fee structure can also be later shared by the admissions team of ICE. I think you can contact Hamza for that, and he will lead you to the admissions team. Mariam Akhtar is asking, can we can easily get a job as a class teacher in preschool? When you say that when you say the word easily get a job, that implies that it's a guaranteed. No, there's no such thing as a guarantee, of course. But yeah, it increases your chances by tenfolds in comparison to someone who doesn't have the qualification. So it definitely increases your likelihood of scoring that job. Again, the cost structure will be provided by the admissions team. And Hamza, I believe you can contact him after this, and we can relate you to the admissions team. After completing PG Cert, do we get QTS status as well? No, you do not. QTS is a qualified teaching status, which is a mandatory thing within UK to teach. And there has been, you can say, works on implementing IQTS, which is international QTS. Now, there are only a handful of institutions around the world who probably give this. But other than that, you have to be within UK to get the QTS in itself. It's a very practical aspect to it, that there are mentors who assess you, do class observation. So that's a separate process. So this qualification, no, it does not give you QTS. Is it accredited in Thailand? You will have to check. with the higher education institutions within Thailand for these qualifications. Now, this is accredited within UK, and any other country that accepts British qualifications is likely to accept it. But you ought to do your homework for that. Can someone get a job while residing in Pakistan, or we must be there in
You
UAE?
must,
This program is an online program.
yes, you must be here
Yes,
in
Dr.
UAE
Yusri,
for
you want to
getting
take
a
on
good
that one?
job. If you visit personally to different schools, then it works.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you can get the qualification online, and then after that, you have to, of course, when you're going to get a job, when you apply for it, it has to be within UAE if you're applying for that job. Can we get job at intermediate and university level after completion of PG-Cert? Yes, you can. It increases the likelihood, but of course, you need your own qualifications before that completed. So if you're talking about a university level, then I would imagine you having at least a master's qualification. So there, PG-Cert is not a ticket to getting something, but it is an exponential opportunity after you've completed your basic requirements. So it distinguishes you from everyone else who doesn't have the qualification. So yes, it increases the likelihood then. What is the difference between PG-Cert offered by ICE Pakistan and other institutions? Because there are more institutions offering it. We cannot speak on behalf of any other institution of the kind of qualification they have. It really depends on the awarding body as well that is offering that program. So institutions don't usually, you know, award the qualification. They have that qualification taken from some university or some awarding body. So you may have to do your homework into that awarding body and the qualification that is being provided. And then, according to the institutions, it's how we deliver that information to you. So if you want to assess institutions, you might want to see how their passing rates are in their moderations. You can see the kind of teaching that is being done, if it's face to face or if it's online. So there are a lot of things you can consider, but I will not refer to any other institutions or how they're providing such qualifications. But ours is a blended learning and online learning mostly. So no matter where you are, you can get this qualification.
And I would like to add
Ashad saying,
one
can I ask a
thing.
question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shahryar, I would like to add one thing on that too. Like you must see where their graduates are working. So just like we are having Dr. Yusra here, we have graduates like PG-Cert graduates who are working like globally. They're working in Egypt, Saudi. They're working in even UK and European countries as well. So you need to check that as well. Okay, what kind of graduates they are producing and what where they are working. So you need to look that as well if you are like looking for a PG-Cert option.
Yeah, so these are, like success stories of that institution and qualification and how they get their, careers developed. That's another way of doing your checks, yes. So Aaron saying, unfortunately, I've missed the session. It's a recorded session, I believe, so it will be available online. You can go through it yet again. Do we get QTS after completing PG-Cert? I think I've already answered that. No, you do not. When will it start? So it starts. There are four basic intakes that we have throughout a year. Uh, it's June, March, June, September, December. These are the intakes that we have. Four intakes throughout the year. And the upcoming one is in June, for example, and then September every 3 months. In UK, PGC is usually complied with QTS, without whom one cannot achieve a teaching license. Is that true? Yes, that is true. Teaching license is different from PG-Cert. Please do make sure that you're not thinking or that I'm going to be getting a license out of that. No, it's not that. This is an academic qualification that upon which you can either go for higher diplomas or you can get scoring a job for teaching, that is. Now, QTS, if you're planning to go to UK for teaching, then just PG-Cert may not be sufficient. You then will have to go through the QTS. But this program does allow you to proceed for a QTS within UK. If you're planning for somewhere else abroad, then QTS may yet not be required in those locations. I am aware of the fee structure, and ICE Pakistan has the highest fee so far. Well, we do also have the highest percentage of graduates. Last time around, we had 90. Before last time was 95. Last time around, it was 99% of our assignments, moderations being passed. So perhaps there is a quality attached to that. All our teachers are based in UK, so there aren't any teachers who are teaching this from Pakistan. And of course, there are quality assurance attached to that, which is why you may think that it's inexpensive, but it's really what you're getting in return. So what's the difference between a master's and PG-Cert? PG-Cert is a master's equivalence. It's a certificate of master equivalence, which means it's a level 7. It's a post-grad, right? So master's certification, not a master's diploma. Master's diploma would be 120 credits. Is 60 credits. So, but then again, it is a master's level qualification. Will you share the recorded session? I believe, yes, we will be sharing this recorded session. Can we get job at university level after this? I believe I've answered that. Yes, it increases your possibility tenfold to getting the job that you desire in that academic institution, may that be a university. But of course, they will look at your master's qualifications, I think, at the very least, if you're going for higher education in universities. We got, thank you for the great webinar. Really appreciate the time, effort, and valuable insights. Of course, you are most welcome. Are you providing online or physical, both platforms, or fee structure? So again, fee structure will be provided by the admissions team, we're the academics here. But the qualification is an online qualification. So it is taught by teachers who reside within UK, giving these lectures through our portal. Can someone outside UAE apply for a teaching job? I mean, yes, you can. I think we've already
Yes, you
answered that.
can.
If you rewind this video, yeah. So to answer it shortly, yes, you can, and we've elaborated on this point quite in detail earlier. So you may want to go back and check out the recording. Can we apply outside from UAE? Yep, we've answered that. Is it possible for someone who hasn't done bachelor's but has around 5 or 6 years of teaching experience and diploma in special needs, dyslexic teaching, to be eligible for PG-Cert? If you've done your bachelor's, yes, it's possible, but if you haven't, then no, you will require a bachelor's degree, which is a level 6 qualification. Okay, will this certification be accepted in the UK? Yes, it is accepted all throughout UK, regulated by Ofqual, the higher education within UK. How can you assure that your authentication of your institution? I don't know about that, Aram. You might want to check out, do some research. I mean, if I say myself that we are, the authentic body, and then you might say that, yeah, you're just biased for your institution. So I understand where you're coming from. And online platforms can quite be skeptical. I completely understand that too, for all valid reasons. But you can see our success rate. You can see our success stories that we've had, and how we have so many students gone abroad or within Pakistan who've attained this qualification and are doing great. So I would say you might want to look at those success stories that we have. It's all throughout our web pages and websites. And if you want to visit the institution as well, so yeah, you can definitely come down to our campus. We got 2 of them, one in Karachi and one in Islamabad. So if you want to come down here yourself, you want to, meet in person, that is also possible. Does the application process become easier if candidate is present within the UAE? I mean, Dr. Yusra, might want to take on that one. Does the
Does the
application
application process
process
become
become
easier?
easier
Which application
if the
process?
candidate
Your
is
job
the question?
application process? Yes, it is like very
Let's
easy. If
assume.
you come here in UAE, you can personally visit different schools. You can easily apply for your equivalency. You can personally visit the seal office for attestation of your degrees. It is quite easy if you come here.
All right. Anna Mabdullah asking how to get teaching license in UAE.
Yes, I
I don't know. You want to take up on that,
yes,
Dr. Yusra?
I have explained this. Once you have a proper bachelor's degree as well as your PG cert, then you can apply for teaching license system via TLS government portal, and you have to appear in two tests, one for teaching strategies and second is for your subject test. And after that, you can get a teaching license. That is valid for 4 years.
That's valid for 4 years. Great. And I believe we've already discussed this in the previous session that we've had earlier today. You can rewind back and check out the recordings. So Hassan asking, will a candidate be treated equal with a PG cert as compared to someone who has bachelor's in education? No, the equivalency of PG cert is of a master's program. So it's after you get your bachelor's degree. You've once completed your bachelor's, and in countries like Pakistan, we have it 4 years, which is equivalent to a 3 year in the UK. The UK bachelor system is of 3 years in total. So that's level 4, 5, 6. You complete that, you've completed your bachelor's, 4 years that would be equivalent in Pakistan. Once that is done, you get your PG cert, which is the master's level certificate. So it's a step higher than that. PG cert, is this valuable in UAE? Do we need to do BEd or PG cert? Or PG cert is enough for us for license?
PG cert is enough for you for license. PG cert is enough. It is time
Okay.
efficient. It has less time. You don't need to complete 1.5 years degree. It is enough to work here in UAE as a teacher.
Thank you. Samia asking, when is the program offered? Please mention the month. And so I'm not sure where the sentence continues from there, but the program is offered in June. Upcoming intake is in June. I believe the last date for that would be 6th or 7th of June. The admissions team can guide you better on that. And then the next intake after that would be September, every 3 months. How about teaching English with MA Linguistics degree along with PG Cert? Do we have to add TESOL Cert to upgrade the CV? Perhaps Dr. Yusri, you understand that question more than I do.
Yes, IELTS certificate, TESOL certificate, I don't know about it. But if you are teaching English, then IELTS is mandatory for you here in UAE.
Okay,
Okay.
so you get your
You are a language
IELTS
teacher,
and
that's
you.
why IELTS is mandatory. Yes.
Hmm. Okay, so to get QTS, what is possible pathway to attain this status after completing PG Cert? We've discussed this, Aisha, but a quick note on that. For QTS, you'll have to be in UK to get QTS. There are institutions, we as of net are not there yet, but we aim to be. There are only a handful of institutions around the world that provide IQTS, international QTS. So maybe you can look into that and seek out for how you can attain that. But of course, PG Cert is a good stepping stone towards QTS. Is it internationally accepted? Yes, Sami, it is accepted everywhere where British qualifications are accepted. So wherever that is, it is going to be accepted. Although I would always suggest you to do your homework, before applying into any country that you seek out for. What grade levels is PG Cert valuable for? What grade levels is PG
For
Cert
every grade
valuable
level,
for?
even in schools as well as in universities. Every grade level.
Yes, yes, all levels, because it does not focus down onto either. So we have both pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy is the study of education for the young mind, and we have andragogy, which is the study
Folks
of
in adults.
mature adults, mature minds. So they
Adults.
focus
Yes.
on both of these aspects. Okay. I missed out where the question was. I believe too many coming in. When is the best time? No, I think we need before that. For starting teaching profession, I have been working with Eldar. This qualification is wants to apply for an UAE, you can get jobs even being out of the country. Thank you for that comment, aren't you? And we have Maliha, which says, when is the best time of the year to start applying for teaching in UAE? Dr. Yusra.
April to June. April to June, and some schools hire after December vacations. But major you apply for, like there are a lot of vacancies after April to June, because their session starts from August and they have to hire their teachers before that.
Thank you, Dr. Yusra. Is there any specific validation period for PG-Cert, as IELTS has 2 years validation? Once you've had your PG-Cert, it's there with you like any other qualification that you will do, bachelor's or a master's. It's there with you for your life. So yeah, are PGCE and PG-Cert the same? Because some jobs description requirements do ask to have PGCE. So please clarify. Now, this is an equivalence. So if you do an equivalency of PG-Cert, you get a PGCE. These are different terms utilized for roughly the same thing. That is, the PGCE is postgraduate certificate in education. Same thing goes with PG-Cert, which as identified on the certificate when you receive is level 7 certificate in education. Level 7 stands for postgraduate, right? So that's postgraduate certificate in education. It is an equivalence of it. Is it available on site as well? You can go to the website if you want to get more information on that. Yes, it will be available. And I'm asking, what is the need to enter an admin or HR entry level job in school? Maybe
Your
Dr. Yusra.
qualification matters, masters in business and administration, like that. And if you go for administration like HR level job, then it comes under the third category I have discussed, school professions license you have to take.
Thank you for that. Can someone outside UAE? I believe that question's pretty unfinished. So yeah, anyone outside UAE can get this qualification. It's an online qualification if that's what your question was. Hassan asking, how can we communicate with Dr. Yusra or Mr. Sharia for any further guidance when required? The admissions team and request them, because we're going to be providing any answer to you that is in regard to the qualification. You can ask in academic purposes, right? So, but if you ask the prices of it or the exact intakes that are coming up, that's the admissions team that can guide you better. So it really depends what your question is. But if you contact the admissions team and you request them to clarify some academic information, then you can request for me. Will completing this PG-Cert enhance my chances of securing a teaching job in the UAE? Of course, it will enhance it significantly in landing that position. So without PG-Cert, it is not easy to get job in UAE, right? It is almost impossible now to get a job in UAE without having a postgraduate certificate in education. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Yusra, that's how it is, right?
Yes, it is right.
Right. Okay, so
You must have some teaching certification or teaching qualification for being a teacher in UAE.
What is the difference between PGCE and PGDE, and which is more valuable? So PGCE stands for Certificate in Education, and DE stands for Diploma in Education, 120 credits. If you get a PGCE, you can have a top-up to different universities that accept those credits. A PGDE would be about a year to a year and a half long, because it's a diploma. A certification is about 9 months to a year long. This one that we have is a 9-month program, depending that you complete those qualifications in time. So one is certification, the other is a diploma. My question for Dr. Yusra, I also have bachelor's in education from virtual university, along with 4-year bachelor's in biological sciences. how did B.Ed helped you in your portfolio?
Okay, nice question. I have get my documents for degree and transcript for B.Ed, but so far I have not that attested. Only PG-Cert is working here for me, so I don't have any need to even attest my B.Ed degree. Alhamdulillah.
Thank God. So moving on to Tahmina asking, in UAE, PGCE with graduation is acceptable, or one has to have a master's degree as well? Dr. Isra, you want to take on that?
Yes, you must have master's degree in any subject in which you are doing your teaching. But if you are a teacher and you want to pursue your career here in UAE, you must need PGCE. Otherwise, you can't teach here. Even in Pakistan, we can teach without PGCE. I know that. But in UAE, you need that certification
Yeah. So to elaborate on
along
her,
with your master's degree.
to yeah. So I think that's her question is that, let's say having a bachelor's and then having just the PG cert, um, can they score jobs with just a bachelor's to back them up?
What is the difference between PGCE, PG-Cert? They are interchangeable. And B.Ed. B.Ed is a degree, PG-Cert is a certification,
Yeah. So B.Ed is bachelor's in education, a full 4-year program.
education,
Yeah. I have
full degree.
a
Yes.
full degree, yes. I have a question regarding PG Cert in education. How much the ISPG Cert be authentic for teaching in Qatar? Uh, Qatar, you'll have to check. I mean, again, we cannot speak on behalf of any institution or any country who accept the qualification. Uh, because it's a British qualification, we give you that certainty that it's going to be recognized all throughout UK, and most countries who do accept will accept the certificate. So, but then again, you will have to do your research on it.
It is working in Middle
Yeah, I
East.
would like to share my 2 cents on that. We have PG cert graduates, just like we have one student of us, I'm recalling, Sophia Behran. She is working as a deputy director in Next Generation School, Qatar. So it is like recognized in Qatar as well. But again, as Shahriar has mentioned, it depends on institution to institution as well.
Exactly. In the whole Middle East, yes. Love the way Shahriar Ahmed actively participated in helping the listeners with their queries. Highly satisfied with these answers and got all concepts clear. Lots of prayers are your way. Thank you, Sidra, for those prayers. Really appreciate it. As I have asked LRN, they are saying ICE is only accredited for foundation courses from LRN, not PG Cert in education. So the qualification is provided by I Qualify UK. That is the integration of ICE with I Qualify UK in partners. So all the academics is done through I Qualify UK. You can check that website as well, and we can provide you it after the webinar. So if we want to pursue Masters of Education after PG Cert, what will be the possible pathway, as we are already covering 60 credits out of the 180, if I'm not wrong? If we want to pursue Masters of Education after PG Cert, what will be the possible pathway, as we're so possible pathway, if you're talking in terms of education, so if you want to say, for example, have a top up to a diploma after, then yeah, you have these 60 credits and then you contact the university, or you can contact them before ever registering into this qualification that we have. That is this are these credits that you accept later as a diploma, because we ourselves do not have a top-up program associated with this. So after you get that 60 credits, we don't have any association, so to speak, that we can direct you towards, right? But these credits can be shown to the university along with the learning outcomes that are provided with those assignment briefings, so they can understand what each unit entails. And if they are okay with this, with the credits that are being offered, then you can go for that top up to that university. To get admissions in PG-Cert in ICE Pakistan, will we be needing IELTS? You don't necessarily need exactly IELTS. You just need to show the proficiency of your English language. That could be other, such as TOEFL, IELTS. There is even known as language cert, SELT. So there are many different ways you can demonstrate your English proficiency. But yeah, English proficiency is required. I am PhD scholar. After completing PG-Cert, do I have to apply for any teaching license to get job in uni level in UAE or Gulf region? Dr. Yusra, maybe you can take up on that.
Dear, as far as universities are concerned, there is no teaching lessons. Only PG cert would be sufficient for you to get a job in university. And if you look for schools, then definitely you once you get a job in school, you have to proceed for teaching lessons. It is not mandatory to get a teaching lessons in university level, right?
Okay, so Sidra saying all the best to Shahriar and Dr. Yusra for your future careers. May you succeed more in life. Thank you. You've been too kind, Sidra. Appreciate that. Ozair Khan saying, can we apply for job while outside UAE? Dr. Yusra?
Yes, you can apply. You can apply for a job, but there is less possibility of getting hired. So when you come here in UAE, you personally visit some schools, meet with the HRs and all that, you can get a job very quickly.
Adil asking, in Pakistan, the common route path for teaching is B.Ed, which I have done, and then M.Ed, which is 2 years, Masters in Education. That means, can I pursue PG-Cert or PGCE and have chances to apply for? Yes, of course. That B.Ed in itself would have been sufficient for you to continue to a PG-Cert, but you also have an M.Ed, which is of a 2-year qualification. So and that is slightly different from the PG-Cert, so to speak, and gives you a higher chances, of course, for applying to certain positions. But you're more than qualified to be,
Here,
applying for the
dear,
certification.
I'm sorry to cut your discussion. Here, I would like to ask Adila that from where you have done with your B.Ed and M.Ed, if it is from Allama Iqbal Open University or Sarhad University, then these B.Ed and M.Ed are not recognized in UAE. Open University B.Eds and M.Eds are not recognized in UAE.
So
You
you'll
must
have to
be
check your,
regular student.
yeah, so you'll have to check that your university qualification that you have, when you have an equivalency within UK, that it's accepted and it's accredited. As Dr. Yusra mentioned, the universities, those particular universities, they do not accept those qualifications. Okay, I have a question that what qualification for a teacher? Not too sure, Fatima, what your question there is. I'm unable to understand on that one. Maybe you can retype or elaborate on that. How to apply for PG-Cert? Any leads to your institution's website? Yes, of course, you can go to the institution's website. There will be contact as well. There will be emails as well, where you can send your request, and the admissions team from there on can take care of all the information that you need. If someone applies for Qatar, do the same rules apply? Same rules would apply, Dr. Yusra, right?
Yes, like attestation process would be same. Your PG cert attestation would be same, and UAE teaching lessons is also working there in Qatar. But I will check it for making it sure that anything else needed for Qatar or not. I never applied there.
Yeah, because there's the process is pretty much the same. You have to get your
Yeah.
in any country, you have your qualifications, get them attested by your own, a country where that qualification is from. Then you take those to the higher awarding bodies of the country that where you're applying. You need to get them attested there. So obviously, Qatar is not going to be having the MOE, Ministry of Education. They might have something else of their own. So you'll definitely, again, have to do your research onto that. If someone has 2 years bachelor's degree, can he go for this PG-Cert? If you have a 2 years bachelor's degree without any experience, then no, you cannot. If you have sufficient teaching experience with a bachelor of 2 years degree, then you perhaps can go for that PG-Cert, but it may not be sufficient for you to landing a job. For landing a job, you would require a complete 4-year bachelor's either from Pakistan or a 3-year bachelor's from UK, which is should be equivalent to a complete bachelor's in UAE. So if you're talking about 2-year bachelor's degree of Pakistan to an equivalence in UAE, then you're probably not gonna land those jobs. With those sufficient experience, you could get enrolled. Of course, there will be criteria that the admissions team will look for. They will need to see your CV and past experiences. So yeah, it's still possible to apply for PG-Cert, but not enough for getting a job in UAE. It is necessary to complete PG-Cert in 9 months, or can it be self-paced and done earlier as well? It is not self-paced. You can do it in a longer period of time if you wish, but 9 months would be minimum, because we require the students to go through the classes that we teach. Previous recordings are available to students. However, as every moderation goes by, this is our quality assurance that if, say, we send a moderation, out of 100 assignments, 95 passed, as has been the case before the previous moderation, 99 last time around, proudly. If an assignment has failed, then we try to understand why is it that this assignment has failed. We need to reflect on that, not just a student understanding from it, but us as an institution. So when we do reflection on that as a quality assurance, we need to adapt our next upcoming units according to those remarks, which is why every recording or every lecture that comes up is more accurate than the previous ones, which is why you have to go through those classes and you have to complete those 9 months so that we can then have you get your certification, or rather send your assignments to the awarding body and them certifying your assignments and giving you the qualification. So 9 months is minimum. I have B.Ed degree from Alama, where to go?
Iqbal
I
Open
believe.
University.
I think
It
you
is
just
not
mentioned.
being recognized. It is not being recognized in the UAE. You must have regular degree to be recognized here in UAE.
Okay. An excellent platform, Muhammad Ali Raza. Thank you for that. B.Ed from AIOU will help in getting job in UAE. AIOU.
No, dear. No, AI Alama Iqbal Open University, it is not being recognized in the UAE.
I don't believe we got you there, Dr. Yusra. You were lagging a little bit, but we did understand that it's not applicable.
Not. Yes. AIOU, every open university degrees are not being recognized in UAE.
Hafsa, please don't delete this video. No, it's there. It's there for you to view. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Junaida, Juma asking, will you issue a letter for using as a reference after taking admission? Perhaps you mean to say as a student letter, that once you are enrolled, you can request the institution for providing you a student letter. If that's what you mean, then yes, we do provide a letter so that that it demonstrates that yes, the student has been studying with us from this date onwards. And if you have say passed a few units, we can also identify those that the learner is in good conduct, completed certain units. So we issue student letters as well once you're enrolled. Thank you, Dr. Isra and Sharia, for your patience and gratitude.
Patience and guidance.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Manal, for that. Juma asking again, after taking admissions in PGCE in your institution, may we have reference letter? Will it work? Yep, I just said that. You can get a student letter or AKA enrollment letter once you're enrolled. Corothalane asking, I have master's in English linguistics, TESOL and PG-Cert from ICE. I teach in HEI. Can I directly apply to a university within UAE? How the process will vary from the one Dr. Yusra explained earlier for teaching license. Dr.
You have everything. You have the degree as well as the TOEFL as well as the PG cert from ICE. So, if the seat or for which you are applying in a university demands the master's degree, like there are the instructor vacancies in different universities that demand the master degrees, that sure you can apply for university, no problem.
Okay, so do we need to be in service and teaching somewhere to get admissions in PG-Cert in ICE Pakistan? Yes, you do. You do require a current practice, whatever that may be that you're teaching, and that teaching needs to be 40 hours of teaching. What that means is that you conclude your syllabus within 40 hours at least, not less than that. Those 40 hours could be stretched in, say, 10 to 15 week time frame of a term or a semester. So, and that is why you need to be in teaching practice to demonstrate your teachings. Excellent knowledge sharing. Thank you, respected instructors, for answering my question. No worries about that. Aisha, can we get PG-Cert from any part of the world? As you've mentioned, that it is an online certification, so it can be pursued from any part of the world. That's absolutely correct. So we have ICE adding the link there that can be accessed, and you can contact the following number. That's 923411986423. In case if you don't see the chat, that is. Now, Mahreen asking, I have a master's degree in linguistics along with 10 years of experience in teaching. After doing PG-Cert, would I get a job in UK? Now, you can get a job in UK, of course, but then you'll have to first apply for the QTS. Within UK, the restrictions are even more than it would be in the GCC or else in the world. It's because it leads the education. Most of the syllabus that we have around the world is British syllabus. So the steps that that UK takes are then slowly expanded towards the rest of the world. So PG-Cert is initiation that started within UK in really structuring how a teaching should be done. And now the world is following that suit. If you were planning to go to UK, then a QTS is something that you ought to look into. Please tell me difference between PGCE and PG-Cert. PGCE and PG-Cert, they're both equivalent to each other. Both are level 7. That means a postgraduate. I've explained that in depth previously, Juma, so you may want to go back and check out the video that we've discussed. And since we're asking Sir Sharia Ahmed, kindly introduce yourself in last. You gave a brief intro of yourself in the beginning. If my name is Shahriar, I'm the manager of academics at iQualify UK, the institution associated with ICE that delivers the qualification of PG-Cert. Anything that's got to do with this qualification comes under my jurisdiction. And from the time that a student is enrolled until the time that student graduates, we try our best to provide all services to the learners. Of course, the admissions goes through ICE, so because that's a chapter within Pakistan. So if you're in Pakistan, you will be reaching out to ICE for this qualification, and then the academics are all provided to you through iQualify UK. Thank you very much. Great clearing, Dr. Yusra and Shahriar. Thank you, Juma. Sana, thank you very much both for your arranging this such an informative session. It effectively addressed all queries, and your patience is truly appreciated. Thank you very much, Sana.
So we are done with the questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Yusra and Sharyar.
You're welcome.
And it was, I think, it was really informative for our audience as well. And I would like to end this session with just one thing. Remember, all of you, that you are just one step away from your dream teaching job with PG-Cert. So we are looking forward to addressing if you have any other concern. We have our own admissions department, and I have shared the number as well. You can visit our website, and the number is 0341 198 6423. You can note it down. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharyar. Thank you so much, Dr. Yusra. And thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this session.
Thank you for having me.
And keep on teaching, and good luck. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Take
Bye.
care.